Shalom, Grand Rising. We are back for the second half of the morning mental. Whose culture is it? Whose fishbowl are we living in? When do you get free of the mental chains? And what do we have to do to pull you out? They keep saying, pull yourself up by your bootstraps when you don't have no boots or no straps. When we left off, all praises to the Most High. When we left off, we were talking about the situation in Nigeria. But that's not the only place where things are going off the rails. Yes, the country of Nigeria is in a bad shape. You see, back when we had slavery in the United States, there was two types of slaves. There were those of us whose lives were made hard with bitter bondage and labor in the fields. But then there were those who had more civilized jobs. They got to eat and sleep in the master's house. They got to the best medical care. They got to accompany the master wherever he went. And they began to look down upon their own brothers and sisters. As a matter of fact, they did a better job at keeping control of their own brothers and sisters than the master did. I'm not making it up, it's true. And they got so comfortable with the good life that they were living that when the time came to destroy that institution, those same black people fought against their own brothers and sisters, rather than realizing that we're not going to be truly free until all of us are free, not just those of you that have been granted some semblance of freedom by the master. I find it amazing that I hear people say, I will bow down and call no man master. You will not call me Grand Master. Oh no, that sounds like I'm bowing down, but you bow down every day to your master. You don't call him that, but your actions speak louder than your words. You will defend your master. You will try to justify your master. You will try to make excuses for your master. But you will not, under any circumstances, humble yourself or follow the leadership or guidance of anyone who looks like you, especially if they have the name master attached to it, because that would mean that you would have to go against your true master, especially when that person is telling you to get up, stand up, and walk away from that which you have gotten comfortable with. The people in Nigeria are sick and tired of living under a government that is only preoccupied with being good house niggas rather than trying to elevate a civilization that could propel the entire continent, since they have the strongest economy. No, they're only thinking about themselves. They're being selfish to themselves. And because they think that they have the backing of their white masters, they don't have any problem doing things to their own people. So you can imagine how everybody's feeling right now when they started killing people. But here's where I want my brothers and sisters in the United States to pay very, very close attention. Those people are out there going against a corrupt government, a corrupt police system. They're tired of being extorted. They're tired of being murdered. They're tired of being raped. And they're tired of an imperfect judicial system. under the guise of their own people, but they know they're all being controlled by the same people that run this country and a few others. The difference is those same things, to some degree, are happening in the United States. The difference is those people are not allowed to own guns. Those people really don't have the tools to fight back. Meanwhile, the slave master's children are equipped with the latest toys that come from America. They're equipped with the latest tactics that they're taught from America. As a matter of fact, they went ahead and they dissolved SARS because they want to replace it with something better. They says, okay, we got you. Hold on, Americans. They said, hold on, well, you right. SARS is jacked up. We're going to get rid of SARS. You right. And they want to replace it with something called SWAT. SWAT. Oh, does that sound familiar to anybody? Well, if you live over on the continent of Africa, you might have heard of SWAT. Where? In American news. They're always behind something. But now they want to bring SWAT. Where do you think that's coming from? You see, when you say French, when you say English, when you say United Kingdom, when you say United States, you're talking about white people. And if you notice, they done got the word united all through all of their titles because they're on one accord, and that accord is against you. Why you think they, let me tell you something. I got a question. I'm going to say this. It amazes me when I see, and I'm going to call you what you are. You're my enemy. You can sit there and say, well, I'm not you're my enemy. You're my enemy because you will never, ever, ever, ever fix your face to speak positively about a people that's trying to overcome what they've been subjected to all these years. Not one time have I seen white media write positively about the pro-black movement or give it any sign of that there's any hope for it. When I see white males, yes, I'm going straight for the throat this morning. It is white males who are the most terrified of the NFAC. Why? Because it represents a direct threat to your false perception of superiority. So you say simple shit like, you're a joke. We're who laughing? What's the joke? You said we're a joke? You ain't opened fire on us yet. Because the difference between us and the people in Largos is that we are fully equipped and fully armed and fully prepared. You think we're a joke? Then try to make us laugh. Or they'll say they're untrained. You think we untrained? Then why don't you try us? Instead of sitting back making jokes, why don't you recognize the fact that you might want to have a conversation with the black community? Because what's happening in Africa will not happen in the United States. And you know this, man. That's why for all the talking and lip bumping and gum bumping that we've been seeing, not a shot has been fired. Because shots will be fired back. But my people in Largos, they don't have that capability. They don't have what we have. So what has happened? There's video coming out that the army has opened fire on people. Now all you've done is unleash something a lot worse. Let me help y'all out with something real quick. You see, when things like this happen in other countries, whenever there's unrest like this, it is the position of countries like the United States and their associates to jump in there and take sides and talk about who's humanitarian and who's not. And they always come in talking about, we're going to bring peace. And what do? If they're not on good terms with that particular government, they will arm the people in the streets and call them freedom fighters and give them everything that they need to wage war against their own government, and then have the audacity audacity to go on TV and on newspaper talking about we're helping the freedom fighters to liberate themselves. No, you are helping people overthrow their own government because you're too cowardly to declare war on them and fight them head up. But you wouldn't like if that was done to you. So you have to paint this false narrative. I hate to dig into this, but I have to. NFAC, they're a terrorist organization. Where's the proof? NFAC, they're a joke. Where's the proof? Show us something that has happened with our organization that hasn't happened with the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Police, National Guard, or any group assemblage of people who handle weapons. Show me. Show me some receipts. Otherwise, your lies fall on deaf ears because you can talk all the shit you want. But y'all ain't bust a grape in a fruit fight yet. They're a hate group. Who do we hate? We love our own people. Oh, they're out here spewing this ideology. We ain't spewing shit. We are the response to your continued abuse. And now we see that abuse is being exacted on our brothers and sisters over in Nigeria. You have to wonder what the response would be if you all did something over here in the United States. And the first thing white people love to say is, well, you're outnumbered. You're outnumbered. Yeah, we outnumbered. How would you feel if you found out that your borders and your airports and your ports were being inundated with people coming from all over the world to assist us, to back us up? Then it become a different story, wouldn't it? Because that's exactly what you do to everybody else. And now we're looking at a situation in Africa, situation in Namibia, the situation in the People's Republic of the Congo. There's different situations that are going on all across the motherland. Why am I highlighting this morning? I'm highlighting it this morning because a lot of you all don't seem to understand that what I told you in the beginning is true. We can't exodus from this place to go anywhere to have our own unless first we touch down and unite with our brothers and sisters and begin a war for our motherland. You see, yes, we did, as slaves, help build the United States. Yes, some of us are descendants of the indigenous ones here. And yes, some of us probably feel that, well, we ain't going nowhere. This is ours. But let me let you know what you have done in the last 250 years. You have allowed your opposition to grow in numbers that you cannot overcome. You have allowed your opposition to become so well entrenched, so well equipped that you would be done in 5 minutes. You've allowed the very people whose you say, this is my house, where you don't let so many of they people move in your house that you are outnumbered in your house. The only place where you're not outnumbered, the only place where all of your knowledge and expertise can come into fruition and into play, the only way that you could ever come back to fight for this house is you need to go to your house where you outnumber them and get yourself together and get organized. Your brothers and sisters in the motherland are being subjected to the same things that you picked up a weapon for if you came out to join the black militia. And for all y'all who walking around craving action, for all of y'all who wonder, well, ain't nobody bust a shot yet, for all of y'all who, when they gonna set it off, I invite each and every one of you to jump on a plane or a boat and come on over to Africa and get in the mix, because all the jumping off and all the shooting up and all the getting it in that you want is right there for the helping, and you're not outnumbered. If I set foot on the ground in Nigeria or Namibia or the Democratic Republic of the Congo, you will never see me in the United States ever again. Because those people will unite behind me and the effort, and we will lead a war across that continent that will change history. And you will be sitting here like sitting ducks, like those ducks that I saw sitting out there last night in the darkness. That wasn't a coincidence. That was a message to my brothers and sisters on the continent of Africa. I am aware. We are aware. Everyone is watching. But what you cannot do is you cannot follow the model that you have seen highlighted in mainstream media, because it is a suicide model. Walking around in mobs with no weapons, walking around up on people that have no problem blowing your brains out with military style weapons, and you have nothing. You need to think and go in a different direction. I want to shift gears for a second. I'm going to say this. We don't need to send prayers. We need to send help. You see, we are in a position to do for them what we always complain nobody has done for us. And that is this. When something happens to one of us, no country speaks up for us. Nobody sends help. Have you ever wondered why every other country in the world, they are forbidden to have guns? Because if they did, they could form their own militias and come over here and help. Interesting. I would like to say that I'm not stupid. So let me take a couple of minutes and talk to the members of the Counterterrorism and Dangerous Groups Department that is watching this right now, that watches every live that y'all do. They're in every chat room without a search warrant. They're in every private communication on social media. They watching this too, with their hands on their mouth like, oh my God. Just be aware that we are aware that you're watching. The situation should concern all of you because it's around police reform. Isn't that the same thing y'all crying about in America? Aren't you still trying to get justice for Breonna Taylor? Or do you not realize that you don't want justice? You want revenge. There's a difference. We have become a world where people want revenge and then call it justice. But didn't I read somewhere that it said, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord? I want you all to know that in order for me to take you to the next level, I have to expose certain things within your mindset. I have to bait you. Just to show you, wake up. We may have all been black in the beginning. We may have all come from the original seeds in the beginning. And we were forbidden to mix with certain races. We were forbidden to intermingle. We were forbidden to mix bloodlines. Did you listen? Hell no. So don't come crying to me today about who the original people was when 90% of us have mixed blood in our veins, including me. You can't come back and ignore 3,500 years of being disobedient because you caught up in your feelings and you know a few things. I will use that as a tool to expose you too. Never underestimate the levels of intelligence of a teacher who has already studied the motives of the students. I know this is hard for a lot of y'all to hear, and a lot of y'all don't want to hear this. Y'all know what's best for y'all. You know, y'all just concerned about you making it through the day, getting yourselves enough to take care of your own. You don't give a damn about what's happening in Africa. You don't live in no damn Africa. Africa ain't never done nothing for you. Africa didn't even come get y'all when y'all was slaves. They left y'all over here. Y'all don't give a damn about that. You too busy hating on your neighbor. You too busy trying to come up on somebody on the back of somebody else. You don't want to be in the spotlight. You just want to be quiet. You want to slide through. That's what you wants to do. Well, ain't nobody talking to you. We're talking to the ones who can feel it in their spirit, feel it in their soul. Those of y'all who having these weird dreams where you see yourself in situations that you don't even, I'm not a member of any military. Why am I having dreams of being dressed like I'm in a fight? For we battle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness, but against spiritual wickedness, but against spiritual wickedness, but against spiritual, but against spirit in high places. Interesting. When people say high places, what do you think they mean? Then you don't know the 10 levels of heaven above the firmament. When people say high places, what do you mean? That spiritual beings are having it out. They're having a fight. And I've told you before, I'm not going to say it anymore. It's chess, not checkers. You know what you do in checkers, right? You jump. Like y'all jump to conclusions. Jump out of windows, jump on the bandwagon, jump off the bandwagon, jump on each other, jump on board challenges that don't benefit you. And then most importantly, jump on the narrative that's fed to you by the very people that want to keep you right where you're at. You don't own nothing. You don't control nothing. You can't go to war with nobody. You don't have your own money. You can't determine your own destiny. Because you're too busy jumping. There's a difference between jumping and making moves. See, in chess, you make moves. Chess is a series of moves, well thought out moves. Meanwhile, y'all running around jumping. Jump, 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 jump. Jump your ass right off a cliff. With my morning mental. Look here, I want to share something with y'all. And then I'm going to get up out your hair because I know y'all got better things to do. I received a notification that I want to share with the people. Y'all give me a second to pull this up. I don't want to misquote, so I'm going to quote it just the way it was given to me. I'm on my morning mental this morning. Yes, I am. There it is. I'm going to share this with you because it came to me. And then I want y'all opinion. All I want you to do is say accept or deny. Accept or deny. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Angela Harris. Dr. Angela Harris is the founder of the Black People United Global Network. They're based out of College Park, Georgia. Salute to them. This was handed to me, and I am going to share it with you. It says, on October 17th, we will kick off the 4th year of the Black I Am Awards in Los Angeles, California. And then we will resume in Atlanta, Georgia on November 28th, 2020. We will be celebrating the Black People United way by giving honor and thanks to powerful Black people. On November 29th, 2020, we will end our 2020 Black I Am celebration with our BIA Youth Expo and Award Show. We will be honoring strategic people of all nationalities and religions in the Black race from around the world. Our mission is to collectively come together under one roof to give recognition to well-deserving individuals who have gone above and beyond to help the relevancy of our image as a race, to have a positive influence to ourselves individually first, and then on our families, communities, and businesses through their God-given gifts and talents, as well as the will to make a difference as a world changer. Grandmaster Jay, you have done just that. You are a leader, a servant, a giver, and a mentor to many in our Black race. For this reason, we at Black People United Global Network would love to honor you and award you the Black I Am 2020 Most Powerful Leadership Award of the year. This event will bring together those families and communities and businesses from all cultures, our superheroes, our voices, our humanitarians, our health and awareness, our community organizers, our nonprofit organizations, our educators, our environmental organizers, our leaders, our actors, our music artists and producers, our film producers and writers, and all others. This event gives us the opportunity to acknowledge the overlooked, hardworking individuals who give more but get less, and also those who deserve honor from our people. The relevance of such an event is unquestionable, and to that end, we are writing to thank you for your contributions to our race, and we are humbled if you will accept this award. And then it goes on to give me a bunch of other information. And I say publicly to Dr. Angela Harris and the Black People United organization and all of those for BPU TV, BPU Radio, BPU Music, and to the film community, that I accept this invitation and that I shall be in attendance on that day, of course, with my security force, to accept this award and to uplift and continue to uplift our people. Folks, I would much rather accept an award from my own people before I accept an accolade or an award from white people, because I don't want a Nobel Peace Prize. I don't want a humanitarian award. I don't want anything from white people when they have not given me the fruit that is deserving to my people. My people can't eat off of a trophy. My people can't fight police brutality with a plaque. And I cannot, in good conscience, accept your empty words when my people are still being abused, oppressed, shot, and treated like second-hand citizens. I cannot do it. But from my own people, from my own kind, I will graciously accept that award. So if you are in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm going to tell you one of the ironic things about this. I'm going to show you how the Creator works. If you are in Atlanta, Georgia, on or around November 28th, I too shall be in and around Atlanta on that time to accept this award. It is ironic that this is at that time because I need to tell y'all a story. I always got to leave you with a story. My mother, who I love dearly, who is the gateway and portal of life that brought me forth into this world, went into labor Went into, ladies know what I'm talking about. Went into labor somewhere around the 22nd of November, 1963. When she did, some things happened. Well, the first thing that happened was they assassinated the president on nationwide TV. President John F. Kennedy, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, was assassinated, murdered by the U.S. government on November 22nd, 1963, while his wife Jacqueline sat next to him in Dallas, Texas. You can go and watch the Zapruder film. You'd have to be a goddamn fool to believe the story that they told you. The same way they want you to believe that the World Trade Center and World Trade Center 7 and all of these steel structured buildings collapsed straight to the ground in free fall when it had never happened before in history. You have to believe the story that they killed John Kennedy with a magic bullet, when the truth of the matter is the U.S. government and a few other sources killed that man. That man whose name that I wear. That man whose wife was named Jacqueline, as was my first wife. That man whose brother was named Robert, as was my first stepson. That man who was actually lining up with Martin Luther King, because King was my father's last name, but Johnson, who succeeded Kennedy, is my mother's maiden name. You see, the coincidence is written all over my birth. But my birth coincided with the Jubilee schedule. And the Jubilee schedule did not end until the 1st of December. So even though my mother went into labor on the 22nd, I did not arrive until the 1st of December, 10 days later. So how ironic that this award falls on the same weekend as my birthday. What better gift could I get for the time that I've spent on this earth than to get an accolade for the work that has happened in the 4th quarter of my life as I walk in my purpose? You see, we never hear stories about Jesus. We never hear stories about Yeshua. We never hear stories about Jesus prior to the 33 years. We never do. We just hear about where he was born. And then boom, we skip all the way 33 years later. Now he's walking around giving sight to the blind, feeding the 5,000, raising the dead, and the whole 9 yards. He was walking in his purpose in the 4th quarter of his life. And y'all been talking about it ever since. So the birthday gift I will accept. The accolades from those people who look like me. Now, somebody gonna ask me where the party gonna be at. They said, Jay, we know you're gonna set it off because it's your birthday. And I have to be a little transparent. NFAC, y'all been waiting to turn up, right? See, this is what happens when you have this type of background. You see, they say that, well, he's a failed DJ. I don't know what the fuck a failed DJ is, because I've done everything that DJs can do and then some. So who do you think is going to throw the party of the year? Oh, y'all will get the details. Are we going to have some fun before we get up out of here? But I digress. I want you all to know that I will accept that award from my own people. So even though black radio continues to ignore what's happened, even though black media continues to ignore what is happening, black people are not ignoring what is happening amongst them. And though many may come in his name, only the ones that he chooses are the ones who can deliver his game. Keep your eyes on your brothers and sisters in Africa, because they need you more than ever. And don't just think about sending guns. We need financial support to get there. We need financial support to strengthen this army we've been talking about. And for all y'all who don't think that there's a necessity, look at what's happening in Lagos and think about if it happens here. That's my morning mental. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you tonight for Facts Over Feelings as we move into part 5 in the series of the Nephilim and the Pyramid of the Apocalypse. Tonight's session, who's falling for the bait, me or you? I'll see you there. Y'all have a blessed day, and I bid you a shalom.